welcome you all to the webinar. My name is Shivali Yadav. I work as a business development manager here at Vrbo, and I will kick off today's webinar for you. And today's webinar is focused on how you can make the most out of your short-term vacation rentals. And these are the speakers for today's event. It's going to be me, and then we have Marco. Marco, would you like to say a few words?
Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm sorry again as well for the technical glitches. My name is Marco, as Shivali was introducing me. I take care of the UK market, so I'll probably be your first point of contact with Shivali, of course, if you need any info, both commercial or technical info when it comes to onboard on Vrbo. Thank you.
And then we have John from Hostify, who's the CRO from Hostify, and he will be speaking at the end of the session regarding any questions that you have for the Hostify and how Hostify can help you with your shorter vacation rentals. So before I kick off, I would like to give you a short introduction about Vrbo. Vrbo is a part of Expedia Group since 2015, and Expedia Group has been one of the leading players in the travel industry since the year 1996. And what we do is we connect property managers with guests and help them access our global network of millions of high quality travelers. We are available in 23 languages. We have more than 50 sites, and we have more than 2 million properties available worldwide. So let's talk about how a Vrbo audience is and how our travelers are. What are their demographics? So moving on, talking about the Vrbo audience, for 25 years, Vrbo is top of mind for millions of families and friends searching for the perfect rental to stay on their next vacation. If we talk dive deeper into the Vrbo audience and the Vrbo traveler, families are our main target, and 85% of our travelers are families or groups. And if we have to talk about their travel preferences, they look forward to spending more quality time with their families and friends. And the average duration of the trip for a Vrbo traveler is 5.6 days. And they come from upper middle class income group, and they travel with children, they are middle-aged, and they are homeowners. So you can see that in a nutshell, Vrbo travelers have unique characteristics in the sense that they tend to stay longer, they spend more, and they bring more people to the same destination than other travelers. If we have to talk about, let's say in percentages, I would say Vrbo travelers stay 3 times longer than other travelers. They spend more than 5 times as compared to other travelers on a reservation. And also the average number of people on a Vrbo trip is more than double that of other trips. And this data is based on surveys and also from the support of some data from Expedia Group. Moving forward, let's talk about what Vrbo travelers are looking for from their accommodation when they are on a trip. So yes, we identified these 5 key trends among the Vrbo travelers and what exactly they look for. So they look for booking in advance, they look for longer stays, they look forward to planning their stays in ahead, and then they want to feel at home. So when they are on their trips, they would like to feel at home when they are renting any short-term vacation rental, and they believe in active communication with the property managers or with the company. Moving forward, let's talk about the UK market data for the Q1 of 2023 and the past year. If we talk about the origin of the travelers, where do they come from for the UK market? Most of them are from the UK itself, more than 36% of them are from the UK. Then a major chunk come from the United States, then followed by Germany, Australia, Canada, and other European countries like Netherlands, France, Belgium, Switzerland. If we want to talk about a little bit about the average daily rate and how, if we speak about the kind of travelers that we get, there's few data that can give you insight on the type of travelers. For example, we get 28% of our gross booking value from properties with more than 5 beds with an ADR of $660. And then 26% gross booking value from properties with 2 beds with an ADR of $184. And lastly, 22% GBV from properties with 3 beds with an ADR of $246. So looking at this data, you can see that our travelers are looking forward to properties with more rooms because they're traveling in groups or they are traveling with their families. Let's move forward and let's talk about the global exposure that you get with Vrbo. Vrbo has a global presence through its regional brands. You can see here our presence all around the world. And if you list your properties with us, it is automatically distributed on all the Vrbo sites and is also eligible for distribution on Expedia Group sites. So you can actually expand your reach with greater global exposure when you're working with Vrbo. We have 15.9 million unique visitors who are visiting Vrbo every month. So you get access to that. And at the same time, you get access to 730 million monthly unique visitors who are visiting the Expedia Group family sites. So you get a lot of exposure in terms of that. And also we have an audience with well-defined characteristics. And why do I say that? Is because Vrbo is Expedia's only vacation rental brand and is a great opportunity to reach new buyers. To explain it in more detail, Expedia is a full service OTA, which has a lot of brands under like Expedia umbrella has a lot of brands under it. For example, hotels.com is one of them, which is completely focused on lodging. Then we have Vrbo, which is completely focused on vacation rentals and more like family and friends oriented. So all the people who are visiting Expedia, 22% of them are also visiting Vrbo. At the same time, 29% of people who are visiting hotels.com are also visiting Vrbo. So you're gaining more exposure and your properties are more like they get exposure to the people who are visiting Expedia family sites as well. So your properties are being looked up by more people and you gain more and more exposure. Now let's talk about what are the benefits of adding Vrbo as a channel in Hostify. So there are so many benefits which Joan will cover in the later part of the slide, but I would just like to speak about 3 main. That is, there is automatic listing creation. You don't have to upload anything manually. You don't have to upload your photos, information, or anything manually on the platform because the listing content is fed through the API and then the listing gets created automatically. All the rates, availabilities, calendars are populated through the API. Second is tools. You can use the tools that Hostify integrate with to strategically acquire the longer bookings that Vrbo specialize in. Last but not the least is the cash flow. All the payments are processed via your payment platform and you don't have to wait until the check-in to receive payment. And it gives you more autonomy and it gives you more freedom you can have and more visibility when it comes to your payments. Moving on to the next, I will now walk you through the onboarding cycle. How does it look like? How do you start working with Vrbo? How do you onboard your properties with us? So in the initial first 2 to 3 months, these are the 3 steps that we take. First, a discovery call or an account setup. Then it comes the onboarding and then comes the account optimization. I'll go through it one by one. So in the first phase, we go on a discovery call. That means someone like me, a business development manager, will talk to you, will ask you a lot of questions to understand your business needs better, to understand your properties better, and what do you actually are looking for. And then we give you all the information that you need to set up for success. And once we have all the information, the first step is to create an account. And it's a very simple process. All you need is an email address and a phone number to set up an account. You can do it on your own, or the account acquisition manager who's working with you can set it up for you and can share the credentials with you, and you can change it later on, obviously. And the second part is onboarding or SSO, like how to make your listings live. So when we are speaking with you, we've kind of find the best possible way to list your properties depending on if you are an IPM or if you are in a PPM. Now you may ask me, what is an IPM? What is a PPM? So a PPM is someone who is a platform property manager who does not use a software to manage those properties and are using Vrbo as a platform to upload, like to advertise their properties directly without any software. On the other hand, there's an IPM, which is an integrated property manager who are using a software provider to manage those properties and for whom we integrate their account with their software provider. So there are two different kind of onboardings there. So if you are a platform property manager, you will onboard your properties using extranet. And if you are a IPM, an integrated property manager, you will go through certain different steps, which are also called self-service onboarding. I will explain that step in my next slide in more detail. So once your properties are onboarded and live, the third part is account optimization. We make sure that your properties are looking attractive to the kind of travelers you heard about today, and you are actually receiving bookings and you are actually making some sales and like winning more bookings than ever. So that is why we indulge in account optimization, and we help you with everything. We help you with gaining more bookings and what can be done in making your properties more attractive to the kind of travelers that Vrbo has. And then once you finish 3 months, your account is then passed on to an account management team or a customer support team, who is a dedicated team who looks after your account in the long run. So we just want to make sure, and we just want to ensure that at every stage of the onboarding cycle, you have a dedicated contact person to help you out during the process. Moving on, I will explain now the self-service onboarding. If you are an IPM, if you are an integrated property manager, and if you want to integrate your account with a software provider. So these are the 4 things that you need to match before onboarding your properties with us. So the first requirement is payment method. The PM must has his own payment method configured before starting the onboarding process, because Vrbo is no longer a merchant of records, and all the payments are managed through either your software by the way of invoice, or if you have a payment processor. The second is pre-activation configuration. That means you should be ready on the software side. All the information for your properties should be completed, and all the properties must be enabled for Vrbo channel before starting the activation. In the simple terms, you need to add Vrbo as a channel partner in your software. Third, you must possess a VAT number or a company registration number to proceed with the account integration. Last but not the least, you must have a credit card or a debit card. Now you may ask me, why do we need a credit card or a debit card? We need the credit card or debit card just to activate the connection and just to receive our commission at the end of month, like 1 month after the checkout. We don't charge any kind of subscription or any other kind of fees from your credit card. It is just for the purpose of charging commission 1 month after the checkout. Moving on to the next slide. Yeah. So this is called the self-service onboarding. So if you are an IPM and if you're looking to onboard your properties with us, so for the onboarding process, what we do is we send you a link, which is called a quick onboarding link, which is nothing but filling a form online. So if you want, we can get on a Zoom call. Like I prefer getting on a Zoom call with the PM every time I send them an onboarding link, so that we can just spend 10 minutes on a call and complete the process together. Because if you kind of face any issue, I'm there to help you out. So it's nothing but filling out the form and adding necessary details like about your company information, and then something about your software, like what is your advertiser ID or user ID or software ID. It is called like different for different softwares. And at the end of this form, you will be uploading your credit card or debit card details for the purpose of commissions. But still, this is not the final step. Like once you fill out this form, your work is done. All you have to do is wait for one of the activation specialists from Vrbo to reach out to you and let you know that, yes, we have checked everything, the integration went successfully, and now your properties are live. So this is what the process looks like. And yes, that's almost it. And these are details, like these are my details and Marco details, who is a UK MDM, Market Development Manager. And you can note down these details if you want to like ask anything, if you have any questions. Like we will be having a Q&A session at the end, but if you want to onboard your properties and if you need any kind of support, these are mine and Marco's details, so you can reach out to us on these numbers and on these email addresses. And now I will open the stage for Joan.
As Shivali mentioned, we have a great connection with Vrbo, and obviously Hostify comes in place to make your life easier. No, we are an all solution for property managers and vacation rental business. So just a bit of insight about Hostify on how big we've grown in the last few years since we started not long ago, almost now 4 years. We have produced already more than 50 million bookings to all our property managers. We have around 34,000 listings distributed globally in all parts of the world, no? From the US all the way to Vietnam, Thailand, Asia, EMEA, any part of the regions. So we are almost on more than 50 countries distributed, no? One of the connections that we were mentioning, it's obviously the one that we have with Vrbo, and what are you capable to do with Hostify. So as she mentioned, once we connect with Vrbo, Hostify will start getting the control, and you will have to have everything properly organized and set it up in Hostify. No, all the pricing and availability will start coming up from Hostify. Any rules that you have, it will be distributed by Hostify. Real-time reservations, all the information will be coming to Hostify with the breakdown of all the information about the revenue. You can even input formulas to know how much is going to be for the owner, how much is going to be for the property management company. We can set up the communications, automate them. All the content will be controlled by Hostify. So all the descriptions, all the pictures, anything that you will have there, it will be all organized by us. So as Shivali mentioned, once we do the connection, a few changes is going to happen. As she mentioned, for example, payments will be starting to be on your site once we connect as a PMS Hostify, and you have to be in charge to do all these kind of payments. No, for that we have integrations with different payment gateways in order to automate it. You can even charge deposit if needed. So everything will be automated, as we mentioned. What we try to make is your life easier and try to avoid repetitive tasks to make it much easier. Okay. Let me go to the next slide. So all you need to manage vacation rentals, we already mentioned, we centralize everything, not just via the connection that we have with Vrbo. You will have all the analytics, all the different task management that we have as well to synchronize your team. And I will show you all the features that we have inside of Hostify. All kinds of data, reporting that you would like to provide to your owners, statements, accounting, everything will be centralized in one place. So it will be easier for you to manage it. No, as we mentioned, we are not just a PMS, a channel manager, and we connect with Vrbo, as we mentioned before, obviously as well with Expedia as part of the Expedia Group. So as she mentioned, once you are in one of the channels, you will be distributed in the other ones. No. And how it makes it a smart property management system. No, as we mentioned, you will centralize all your communications. No, you will be able to communicate with your client, not just via Vrbo as well. We can send text messages to that client if they provide it via the platform, via Vrbo, the phone number. You will be able as well to write a text message from the system straight away to the client. Okay, you will be, as well as we mentioned, to automate all your tasks, all your procedures, all your checklists, the communications with your internal team, no, the accounting, any kind of tool that you may think that you might need in your day-to-day. It will be everything integrated in Hostify. And of course, we set up all these kind of automations for your day-to-day to be in a cycle. And straight away, you just need to focus maybe on the growth to acquire more properties, more owners, or to as well to try to provide more sales or to focus on the revenue. Okay. We also provide a mobile app. We have an invoicing tool. We have reporting tools, everything that we mentioned. No, obviously with the connection, I will share now just a bit of the insights on how is the integration done between Vrbo and Hostify. It's quite straightforward. So let me go ahead and change the screen. So this is an example of how Hostify looks inside. Obviously, we'll come to the channel management section. We'll click on Vrbo. As Shivali has said before, you will have to follow up one link on the onboard where you will select that you already work with a PMS, and it will ask you if you have an existing account or you need to create a new account in Vrbo. Okay, so either way, both, once you have filling in all the information that they have required, straight away from Hostify, you will come here, and as you can see, you can create as many Vrbo accounts that you may need. maybe, you know, you acquire a new property owner that they have already a Vrbo existing account, you can integrate as well in Hostify. So you can have as many Vrbo accounts as you would like connected in the system. And as you can see, we can connect as well the messaging status. So basically, or if you would like to straight away, whenever you respond to a Vrbo client, straight away to appear in the platform, okay? So it will be as easy as this. So we will just be pushing the listings that you have in Vrbo or in Hostify towards Vrbo, and then you will activate it. And from that moment on, once you do the call with the onboarding specialist, as Shivali has mentioned, you will activate all the listings from Vrbo and connected with Hostify. And from that moment on, Hostify will have control, as we mentioned, of the pricing, availabilities, content, messaging, payments, everything will be all into one place. So it will make your life much easier. Okay. And I think that's pretty much it. As we mentioned, you are more than welcome to book a demo and understand more about Hostify and all the advantages that you can get from a software like us. Okay. And we will share as well the details about the email and any information that you would like to have in case that you would like to have a demo with us. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I think we can jump now into probably Q&As.
So yeah, thank you so much about that. Like, thank you so much for the presentation. It was great. And we can jump on the Q&A, and I'm just putting the details here to reach out to Vrbo in case anyone is not like, any question doesn't come to their mind right now. And if they want further support, you can reach out to me or Marco on these email address, on these phone numbers. So yeah, the stage is open for questions now, and me and Marco and John are gonna help you with that.
I think you already have the first one from Maria. Can I use Vrbo from an app?
Yes, I'm sure that you can use Vrbo from an app. Yes, we have an app, and also if you're connected with Hostify as well, you can use it from an app.
How long does it take to receive payments from Vrbo? Well, in this case, I think I can jump in. Since we will be in control of the payments, it won't be Vrbo anymore. You will automate your with the payment gateway that you have installed in Hostify. You will automate the payments. So basically, Vrbo will provide you the credit card details from the client. These will be transferred into Hostify, tokenized, and then you will be able to set up the payments. So then depends on the getaway payment that you have hired on how long you will receive that money into your bank account.
Yeah, John, I just wanted to add that since the very first moment we receive a booking, we share the traveler's credit card details with Hostify. So basically, as John was saying, you are in control of the payment, and of course, you can split the payments, divide the payments. It's up to you. It's completely up to you and up to what Hostify is letting you do. And as Shivali mentioned before, we are going to ask for our commission only the month after the checkout. So to make an example, if you receive 3 bookings in June from Vrbo, no matter if some of the checkouts are at the beginning of June and some of them at the very end of the month, we are going to ask our commission the first week of July, the month after the checkout. So it's pretty simple.
How long does it usually take from the time I decide to join you until I have my properties listed on Vrbo?
Okay, I would go ahead and take this one. So like I mentioned, all the 3 steps, like your account setup only takes 5 minutes because all you need is an email and a phone number. And then we jump onto the onboarding. So as soon as you have everything ready, like as soon as everything is ready on the software side and you have your listings ready on your Hostify account or software that you're using, it takes only 2 to 3 business days. Because once you fill out the form, it's like a 5 minutes, like it only takes 5 minutes to fill out the onboarding form because it just needs certain information that you need to input. And once that form is once that form is completed, it only takes 2 to 3 business days to your properties to go live. And we take 2 to 3 business days because the implementation specialists are running some tests and actually seeing if the integration between the software and the Vrbo went well and if everything is okay. They will also give you an option of a very small training session as well after it, but your properties will go live in the next like 24 to 72 hours.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of having everything ready on Hostify. So if you are ready on Hostify, as Shivali was saying, it's really simple. We can, as Shivali mentioned, we can organize a Zoom call, but we also can send you a video showing step by step how to complete what we call self-service onboarding. A Zoom call, it's just the occasion to share more info and to answer all the questions that you may have. But the process itself is really simple and straightforward.
For Vrbo Hostify, what kind of support do you offer? Is it 24/7 by chat, email, tickets? Yeah, so from Hostify, it's 24/7 and it's via chat. We have a support team always in place. So at any time that you will request any kind of question or incident, there will be somebody able to be answered to you.
It's the same for Verbo. I mean, we have different kind of supports. Of course, Shivali and I will be during the first months your point of contact. We are not technicians, so most of the time we will not be able to solve technical issues when it comes to technical issues, but we'll put you in touch with the correct team. Otherwise, you have the integrated property management support team, so a support team dedicated only to property manager using a software. So they are really expert in solving issues that may occur, but I mean, it's always, when I say issues or technical glitches, it's really only at the beginning usually. So all we are talking about is the first part. Once we are integrated, once we are connected, then it's really simple for you to just go into your Hostify dashboard and choose to deactivate some listing, activate a new listing. So the longest, the most time-consuming part is just the first part. Once we are connected, then the Vrbo account will be only a reflection of what you have on Hostify. So all the info will be pulled from Hostify. Of course, you can access your Vrbo account to see some data, some ranking data, to see how listings are displayed to travelers, but you will manage everything from Hostify. So it's really simple.
In any case, like if anyone has more questions, as you can see here, you have the details for Shivali. Marco will share as well the details for the Hostify team via the email once we share the presentation. So feel free to reach us, book a demo, or reach us for any question.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we are here to support you, and we're here to answer your questions and offer you any kind of support that you need during the onboarding. So yeah, you can contact us on these emails, and as Joan mentioned, he will be sending emails as well. So yeah, happy to help. And I would just say, like, thank you for your time today. It was a great experience speaking with you all, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Thank you
Have
for
a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.